afternoon, everybody, and it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon as the first tourism bid in the UK, if not outside North America. How good does that sound? Sounds good to us anyway. I'd just like to start by just saying a little bit about the nature of the tourism bid, because it is obviously different in many ways to city centre bid. First, and most obviously, we cover a vast geographical area, over 1,000 square miles to be exact, stretching from Fort Augustus at the south end of Loch Ness right up to Inverness, 30 miles away, Inverness out with the city centre area, on out to the airport, and including the airport, up to the wilds of Glenafric, and south to Tomatin on the edge of the Cairngorm National Park. Most of the larger businesses, the hotels and visitor attractions and such forth, are not surprisingly concentrated in and around Inverness. The rural area, by contrast, is dominated by bed and breakfast, guest houses, and self-catering. And in places is very, very sparsely populated, less than 3 persons per square kilometre in places. Now, naturally, in the development of the tourism bid, this gave us a number of challenges, not least the time required and the distance required to travel in order to undertake our consultation. Another challenge was, particularly with regards to the self-catering sector, is that, and we have something like 160 self-catering businesses, a lot of these are owned not only out with the area, not only out with the UK, as far away as California, and naturally, this made the engagement process with them extremely difficult. We had a third issue, which had nothing to do with our geographical size, and that was that we were bringing together, for the first time, Loch Ness and Inverness as one destination. And while for many of us it was an obvious partnership, given the interdependence of the two for success, not everybody saw it that way, or even now sees it that way. There were those that thought that Loch Ness did fine on its own, and why did it need Inverness? And even those that recognised that interdependence actually wanted their area to somehow get priority over the other. So there were a number of challenges that we had in the whole process of development. But the reason we overcame these challenges, like every successful bid, is that we listened to what the businesses were saying, and we reflected that in our business plan. Our goals are really quite straightforward. It's about increasing visitor numbers to the area, increasing the length of stay, increasing the level of spend, improving the visitor experience, and creating a more sustainable local tourism industry. In order to achieve our goals, we have 6 objectives. The first of these is the marketing and promoting of the area as one destination. The second is to increase the importance, the value of business tourism and the conference market to the area. The third is to support new and sustainable events and festivals. Fourthly, to provide business opportunities for all our members. Fifth, to do what we can to try and improve and develop some of the tourism infrastructure in the area, particularly around Loch Ness. And sixth, to act as a voice for the local tourism industry. Now, a year on in, we reckon we've made good progress, and I would just like to give you a flavour now of some of these projects that we've undertaken for some of these, all of the objectives. In terms of marketing and promotion, we rolled out our new brand, Visit Inverness, Loch Ness. Not exactly revolutionary, but nevertheless important that we got it out there. We're just about to launch in 2 weeks' time, fingers crossed, our new website, bringing all the businesses that are in the tourism bid, which is over 400, all onto one all singing, dancing website. We have a marketing campaign just about to roll out with Inverness Airport, Visit Scotland, Flybe, Avis, and ourselves in this spring campaign, as I say, just about to roll out. But it's not just about the big scale projects. As we all know, it's often the small, straightforward projects that reach out best to the doubters out there. and we're just about to distribute over 100,000 maps, or basically to accommodation providers, which outline where to go and what to see. In terms of our business tourism, we now have a full-time person dedicated to growing the value of business tourism to the area, working with key stakeholders in both the private and public sector. It won't happen overnight, but we are sure by doing the groundwork now, it will lead to fruition in 2016 and 2017. In terms of events and festivals, we're supporting this year in a small way one of the sustainable events in the area, the Loch Ness Tap. For those that don't know what that is, it's a cycle event that takes place in late April around the whole of Loch Ness and ends up in Inverness. Inaugural year last year, fantastic event for the area, generating huge economic benefit. By adding our support in there, we hope to ensure that there is more direct benefit to the tourism bid members. We've also held a good number of business development opportunities for members and are now rolling out the opportunity of World Host to members with the aim of becoming one of only 11 destinations in Scotland to achieve World Host status by September 2016. These business development opportunities, often in partnership with others, have very much been our quick wins and undoubtedly have helped us to win over members. We have also, though, managed to achieve a quick win with regards to improving the local tourism infrastructure. With financial input from ourselves, the Forestry Commission, who are the largest landowner in our area, moved very quickly to help us make improvements to laybys and access down to the shores of Loch Ness. This project, which will run throughout this year as well, has met with universal approval both from the members and from the visitors. So a great project which has really helped us in this first year. And of course, as some of you will be aware, we are the fortunate recipient, as announced by the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Danny Alexander, of £2 million for the area to be marketed and promoted over the next 4 years, led by Visit Britain, working in partnership with Visit Scotland and ourselves, as I say, over the next 4 years. I refer to one of the lines in the PR release from Danny Alexander's office. He said, "With local businesses now working to improve the destination, it is right that Visit Britain step in to help make more of this iconic destination." And it is this, together with real collaboration with the public sector, that is the key to our success and offers huge opportunity as a tourism bid for the area. Yes, we have our doubters out there, like any bid. There are those that remain to be convinced or at best indifferent. But in the tourism bid, we now have a representative local industry body, which Highland Council, HIE, Visit Scotland, Historic Scotland, Scottish Canals, the Forestry Commission and Inverness City Centre bid are working with in a meaningful manner to achieve real improvements and create a more sustainable local industry. And, importantly, is aligned with the Tourism Scotland 2020 strategy, because just as we, as Tourism Bid, are about private businesses working together, we cannot operate in isolation and ultimately are dependent upon the success of the tourism industry as a whole in Scotland. So what for us is the vision beyond achieving, or what do we think success for the destination should or could look like in 4 years' time? Well, for us, certainly, we want to have a destination that has an effective marketing strategy that links in with the strategy of the surrounding areas of the tourism bid, that is integrated with that of Visit Scotland, that works with the marketing aspirations of local towns and villages, and above all, one that delivers real benefit to our members in terms of increased visitor numbers and bookings and such forth. A destination that maximises the potential of business tourism in the conference market and enables the area to compete more effectively for this lucrative market with other destinations in Scotland, Aberdeen, Dundee, Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's hugely important to the Scottish economy, and we not only have a growing number of conference venues, but also the rural and city attractions and facilities to make coming to Inverness and Loch Ness attractive to conference organisers. A destination that makes more of Loch Ness. It may be a surprise to some of you here, but it's not the honeypot you would think it is. Certainly, there are some businesses that do very well out of it, but it lacks things to do to encourage people to stay in the area. And the tourism bid has a commitment to deliver a number of access and infrastructure projects, such as the one I described, around Loch Ness over the next 4 years. But real success for Loch Ness has to be investment in more water-based projects and the piers and jetties. One that has an events and festivals program, which is sustainable, runs throughout the year, and is well publicised, with everybody singing from the same hymn sheet. A destination that provides the visitor with a seamless experience. We need to make it much easier and better experience for the visitor from the moment they go online to book their holiday to when they leave and return home. One that has a welcoming, tourist-friendly city centre. Success of the tourism bid in this respect is inextricably linked with the success and the work undertaken by Inverness city centre bid. A destination that has better transport links, and a destination that has better digital connectivity. We know super-fast broadband is coming. It will make a huge difference. But we also know in our area, there are areas around Loch Ness that are barely touched by broadband and Wi-Fi. And of course, a successful reballot in 2019. So these are exciting times for the local tourism industry of Inverness and Loch Ness, one which offers great hope. And yet you step back just over a year before we became a tourism bid, and all the area had was Destination Loch Ness, the destination management organisation for the area. It was established back in 2006, and for the 8 years it worked hard to make improvements and had some good success. But ultimately it was limited in what it was ever going to achieve because it relied on voluntary payments from tourism businesses. It had barely 100 members with a combined private sector revenue of just over £30,000. And you look at us now, private sector revenue is something like 6 times that. We have 370 levy-paying members, and we have a further 50 opt-in businesses that have chosen to join the bid because they can see the advantage of being part of it. So I would finish simply by saying this. If the destination has the nucleus of tourism businesses to make the bid viable, then I would simply say, go for it. We, and I know it's easy for us to say, think as a business model, it is one that offers great opportunity. Thank you.